You got control of you.
Yeah, we're live. Morning, everybody. It's the 16th of March. We're Signal Centre Talking Ball. Joe Neighbour, Ian Common, Steve O'Hare. Morning, guys.
Good
Good
morning, all.
morning.
How are we all?
Very
Average.
excited.
Excited.
Yeah, very excited.
I'm working from home today. Mrs. Neighbour had a cough, so taking all precautions. Kids are off school.
Self-isolating, good man.
Self-isolating, yeah.
From my parents.
It's a lovely day outside, though. I'm going to struggle to stay in here looking out of the window.
No, you just have to stay away from your mum and dad. That's it.
Yeah.
You
You're
know.
allowed to go in the garden.
I'm going to go in the garden then. All good.
Do a bit of weeding.
Yes, on the AstroTurf.
Yeah.
Okay, so over the weekend we saw a shock move yesterday from the US Federal Reserve. They've cut interest by another 100 basis points down to 0.25 and injected.
Well, it's a range, isn't it? 0 to 0.25.
Right,
So
okay. And
basically cut
a
it to
massive
0,
amount
which
of-
is sounds better.
Yeah, and obviously a huge dump of liquidity as well. Was
Yeah.
it 750 billion?
700 I read, but
700.
might be wrong.
So after all the pressure that Trump's been putting on Chair Powell, he's caved in, and there's a lot of concern yesterday on Twitter when I was reading, with the market then subsequently opening lower after that move, that they've used all their bullets and they're now not got anything else that they can do.
Bank of Japan eased overnight again. New Zealand cut
ETFs,
rates,
aren't they?
yeah, and other risky assets. It says New Zealand Central Bank cut rates 75 basis points to 0.25. RBA also pumped money into a strained financial system.
And there's a meeting of G7, is it, at 2 o'clock this afternoon?
2 o'clock this afternoon.
So might get
UK.
some more attempts to stem the bloodbath. I don't think it's going to work.
Doubt it, yeah.
It just felt, even after, well, I saw that rally at Friday night. In the last 2 hours, it rallied like about 5% in the last 2 hours. Closed on its close to limit up. And I heard some fools were selling it up there when they were pissed.
Yeah,
is that right, Joe?
Well, after the Techno Festival, yeah, might have done a NASDAQ trade when I got home. So FTSE and DAX are down by 11.5%. I think they have been worse. They were close to 13 a little bit a little while ago. And if you're looking for indications about what the US markets are going to do, then you can check out the Spider S&P 500 ETF. That's available on the All Sessions via
on IG.
I can see it.
Yep.
That's
it's 9% down at the moment.
8.68%. So
this is the one I think
that limit open straight into another circuit breaker at 7 o'clock at 7%, and then who knows where from there.
Yeah, potentially we're going to hit the 13% circuit breaker, and if we haven't done that yet,
so
got close to it.
I mean, over the weekend, you get all this chance for panic to set in, don't you, and people to start taking it a lot more seriously. So I think you're going to see some panic selling on top of what we've already seen, which has been quite drastic.
Yeah. UK are coming out with more measures this morning as well, aren't they? I'm not quite sure what time that is, though.
Boris has apparently pledged to do a daily update. He's speaking today, but he hasn't been seen for 4 days. So you know, he's drawn a bit of criticism for that, because he's not sort of facing up to it in the way that people want. They want their prime minister, I guess, to be facing it head on and reassuring people, which he doesn't seem to be doing.
No.
If only we had someone like Trump.
Yeah, exactly. He's fronting up every day, isn't he?
Yeah, I love his comment on Saturday morning. Biggest stock market point rally in history. Thank you.
Really?
Fucking what? We had the 4 largest point sell-offs in history on the preceding 3 out of the 4 preceding days. And on the Friday, we got the biggest point rally in history. Thank you. It's like markets are 30% lower than they were. What are you doing, Trump?
There's been a UK document leaked that says that they reckon 8 million could fall ill.
Well, that's not. I mean, surely I think it's supposed to.
Yeah. It's about 12%, is it? 13%?
Yeah. I was looking at the numbers actually today. Someone, I don't know if I'll be able to upload it. I'll share the screen in a minute. This was what I saw last night. Where will I see it? Let me share my screen. me share the right screen. So there's this website that tells you how many confirmed deaths there are by country, territory, and everything. It's been the
Vatican
place.
City.
Yeah, Vatican City. someone broke into it last night and just changed it to put these numbers on.
Wow.
I just saw, and
More
actually
deaths than actual people.
more deaths than actual people.
That's
And do you know what
incredible.
the actual little quiz here? Do you know what the Vatican City population is? I'm sure some of you guys
No, I
out
don't
there
know.
guess. Vatican City, really small place in Rome.
1,000?
1,000.
Really?
Yeah, there's 1,000 people population. So 900,000 doesn't seem right. Anyway, it's disappeared
That's
this morning.
all the boys they're hiding in the.
Oh, Joe.
Oh, now listen. I actually just was
Catholics.
going. I was just going for the. I said to, oh well, my mum and dad are over 70 and they're Catholic. They've got no chance of surviving this. And I shared it on my family chat this morning, which is a very doom and gloom look at the world. With the horsemen have arrived, and my cousins and nephews are sort of like joining in with all the fun and nice things to say about it. Yeah, shared it on there. My mum actually said, "Is that true?"
Oh, bless her.
I know, so I had to call her this morning just to sort of reassure
her.
Jesus.
Is anyone trading anything this morning?
I'm short of S&P and Nasdaq.
Have you got anything to?
I've hedged a little bit of DAX, so I'm long at DAX. So,
okay,
but nicely on side. Yeah, but that was a bit frightening.
We need to try and find some ideas if we can.
Yeah, well, the only idea really I want to go with is selling oil really. But
Let's take another bath today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to. I'll tell you what. No, I'm going to sell copper. At the moment I'm selling copper on a breaking below this channel. I'll sell it here now.
I don't know how we did on the trades last Friday. I had a dollar index, which I think, Steve, you called me out saying it was a bull flag, and it actually was. It did break out, but it's reversed off quite sharply.
All right, nice.
No prizes for that, unfortunately.
No, okay. Yeah, well, I'm going to go for this. Whatever the levels are, I don't really care. I'm selling at 2.4. I'll round it up 1 just to make the number more even. Targeting 2.365 and 425. So there, 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. I'm selling copper at 2.41. The target is 2.3650 and the stop is 2.4250. Okay. So 3-to-1 risk reward ratio.
Making out of that because I can't access the spreadsheet at the minute, so I'll tell you where it is after this. But Ian, have you got anything you're looking at?
I'm staying away from the dollar. Strangely enough. Stop sharing, Stevie.
Yeah, stop.
Euro sterling. I think it could quite easily push to this 261.8% fib. That's our resistance level there, so it's not particularly great entry. I prefer to sell it at 91.47, which we have recommended in our calls this morning, but because it's gone to the head, I haven't really got anything else, to be honest. So stop above there, about 2.5R. 90, 88, 88, 60 target. Let's shut up. 2.5R selling at the market, 90, 88, stop at 91.78, target 88.60. It's not the best day trade I've ever found.
No, it's challenging, isn't it? I can't find anything really. I'm going to buy.
Don't buy stocks, whatever you do, mate.
I'm going to buy euro dollar. No, it's going against what Ian's saying, but I think we could go a bit higher with that. It's all a bit of a punt, isn't it, at the minute?
It is, indeed.
Right, let's try and share my screen. Working on one screen is horrendous. Are you sharing your screen still, Ian?
I think so. No.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Euro dollar just looks to me on the 60-minute chart as forming potentially a bit of a bottom, potentially a double bottom taking shape there. Obviously, it needs to break above roughly here before we can confirm that. So
Hang on, Joe, we can't see. Just it says you started sharing, we've got a black screen.
okay.
It's sharing what it thinks is another screen, maybe.
Oh no.
Oh no, we can see it now.
Okay. Yes, so just talking through that, we've got a bit of a double bottom potentially taking shape there. If it can break above here at 112.23, then maybe there is scope for more upside. So I'm going to bank on that breaking higher from here and continuing higher towards 11400 with a stop below that previous candle we've seen in the last hour. So 111.62, and that is 2.74R. So hopefully one of us is right on the euro call. That's it. Not much more I think we can say at the minute.
No, just be careful out there. Just think about them limit breakers in the S&P and Dow. Don't be tempted to try and pick a bottom in them.
Any big bottoms normally?
Get dirty fingers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's expecting at the moment to open and hit the circuit breaker at 130. That will mean we'll have a 15-minute pause in trading, and then we'll see if it hits the second breaker at 13%. I mean, that would be a real horror show, and that would be blood on the streets.
So, I mean, what's you're thinking with what other action can be taken today? Do you think we'll follow suit with what's gone on in Spain and Italy and ban short selling in stocks? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, that's banning short selling is probably, you know, the way they could go. I can't sort of like, I don't think it doesn't matter how much money you throw at this at the moment. I think you've almost got to just say you're going to be there for the businesses that, you know, need the support, and I don't know, open checkbook, but it's all another, you know, adding to the debt burden, isn't it?
Giving
So
cash to everybody, won't
yeah, that's a potential as well, has been talked about. So yeah, that would help, but it's a very short-term fix.
Yeah.
And
that's
I mean, you've got to think about.
They go out and spend the money, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if they go out, I think
Yeah,
a lot of people. I know my kids have saved a fortune in the last week or so, just by not going out. But yeah, I think it's all a little bit. It's going to calm down. Hopefully, it'll start to calm in a couple of weeks' time.
I think it'll come when they start seeing the numbers flatten out, won't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at that coronavirus numbers, and it's sort of like, it makes you sort of think Italy's obviously worst affected country in the world based on total cases that have been diagnosed. Not, you know, if you're just taking total cases that have been diagnosed, out of every million of population, how many people do you think in Italy have been diagnosed with it?
I think the number's about 20,000 now.
25,000. So every million people, there's only 400 people have been diagnosed with it. Now, I really honestly believe
don't
probably.
know the numbers, do you? I mean,
don't know what.
In the UK, exactly how many people have got it, because not everyone's getting tested, are they?
No, exactly. So you've got to say that there's probably 10 times that amount of people have got it. And because, you know, they're sort of, they've got it, they have the symptoms, and then they recover, and they don't even get tested. So that's it. So
in the UK, we're not going to get tested. So if
you've got to get a temperature over 38.6 degrees or something.
Yeah.
Well, and that confirms it, because she's had the cough, because it does say if you get the cough or the fever or
yeah.
both.
Well, one of Leslie's mates, father-in-law, one of his mates thinks he's got it, and he's got a high temperature, but he's rang up and they've said that it's not high enough to be tested.
Yeah, Ryan's got it.
Well, they won't diagnose you as having it, will they? You won't go down this official number.
No, that's right. Ryan has it.
Person,
Ryan definitely has it, though.
okay. Has he been tested?
No, he's got 2 clients that he was with last week. Both, I think, one of them has confirmed
Right,
a confirmed
okay.
case. But he's sort of like, you know, seems to be sort of like holding up quite well.
Yeah, I don't think the symptoms are, you know, if you're a healthy person, I don't think you're going to suffer that badly. It's just,
No, exactly.
It's just the contagious worry of passing it on to someone that it could affect.
I think that's what we all just got to do is that the key thing is be sensible, stay away from older people.
Yeah.
And then and the chances
stay
are
away
this
from you
is sort of
too.
like they'll come and go, and you know, everything be all right. Because if you sort of do think that we've had 40,000 people tested and we've got 1,300 of positive, that's a shitload of testing they've done. Yeah, and they should be testing maybe more people who are like healthcare professionals coming into contact with sick people and things like that. That's the people you should be testing. The other people can sort of self-isolate if they sort of get a cough or get the symptoms. Just stay at home.
Indeed. Keep washing your hands, people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially bottom pickers. Bottom pickers. Wash your
They're going
hands.
to be the worst case. They're going to be spreading like no one's business.
Yeah. All right.
Guys. Have a good
Cheers.
one.
Bye.
Catch you tomorrow.